What if the next time you boarded a flight, the tray table in front of you stayed empty? No hot meal, no snack, not even that tiny cup of orange juice. Just a quiet realization that airline food as we know it is slowly disappearing. It sounds crazy, right? But behind the scenes of the aviation industry, something big is happening, something most travelers never notice until it's already gone. And it all started years ago when airlines quietly realized that meals weren't just food, they were expenses, massive ones. And when fuel prices spiked, competition got brutal, and low-cost carriers started offering dirt-cheap tickets with no frills. The big airlines watched passengers choose price over comfort again and again. So executives sat in boardrooms asking one simple question: where can we cut without losing customers? And the answer kept pointing back to meals. Because think about it, most passengers complain about airline food anyway, so removing it feels easier than shrinking seats or canceling flights. And slowly, quietly, airlines began reducing portion sizes, swapping hot meals for cold boxes, replacing full trays with snacks, and then, in some cases, removing free food altogether, especially on short and medium routes. And travelers barely noticed at first because it happens step by step, one sandwich gone here, one dessert removed there, until suddenly what used to be a full meal turned into a packet of pretzels and a plastic cup of soda. But that's only part of the story, because the real reason meals are vanishing isn't just about saving money, it's about control, data, and profits. Airlines today don't just fly planes, they run sophisticated data companies, tracking what passengers buy, what they skip, how long they look at menus on seat screens, and even which snacks sell better at certain times of day. And what they discovered shocked even them. When meals are included in the ticket price, people waste a lot of food. But when meals are sold separately, only those who really want them buy them, which means less waste, lower costs, and higher profit margins. Because a $3 snack that costs 50 cents to make becomes a gold mine when multiplied by millions of passengers each year. And this is why you now see buy-on-board menus, meal pre-orders, premium snack boxes, and chef-inspired paid meals popping up everywhere. It's not about improving your experience, it's about turning hunger into revenue. And then there's the weight factor, something most passengers never think about, but pilots and engineers do. Every single flight, every extra pound on a plane means more fuel burned. And when you multiply that by thousands of flights a day across the globe, meals become incredibly heavy cargo. Metal trays, hot food containers, drinks, ice, carts, all of it adds weight. And by reducing or eliminating meals, airlines save millions of dollars in fuel costs every year, which is why many newer planes are designed with fewer galleys and more space for seats instead of food storage. And speaking of seats, that's another hidden reason meals are disappearing. Airlines are squeezing more seats into planes than ever before. Smaller seat pitch, slimmer cushions, tighter rows, which leaves less room for tray tables big enough to hold full meals comfortably. So instead of redesigning cabins for food, they simply redesign the food to fit the cabin. Smaller boxes, handheld snacks, things you can eat without spreading out. Because the modern airplane isn't built for dining anymore. It's built for transporting as many people as possible as cheaply as possible. Fast, efficient, and minimal. But here's where it gets even more interesting. Some airlines are intentionally making meals less appealing. Not worse quality exactly, just less exciting, so passengers won't miss them when they're gone. It's a psychological trick called gradual removal, used in many industries, where something is slowly downgraded until customers no longer value it. Then, when it's removed completely, there's less backlash. And if you think about it, airline food jokes have existed for decades, and airlines quietly leaned into that reputation, because when people already believe meals are bad, they don't fight hard to keep them. And while passengers focus on legroom and ticket prices, meals fade into the background. But the industry insiders know exactly what they're doing, and it's working, because most travelers now accept that food is something you buy, not something you get. And another major factor is catering logistics. Airline meals are incredibly complicated to produce. Thousands of meals prepared daily in massive kitchens near airports, loaded onto trucks, timed perfectly with flight schedules, customized for dietary needs, special meals, allergies, cultural preferences. And when delays happen, meals go to waste. When flights are canceled, food is thrown away. And when planes change routes, catering plans fall apart. All of that costs money, time, and manpower, and by reducing or eliminating meals, airlines massively reduce operational headaches. Fewer staff needed, fewer trucks, fewer kitchens, fewer problems. And in an industry where profit margins are razor thin, just 2 to 5%, those savings can mean the difference between profit and loss. But don't think this is only about economy class. Even business and first-class meals are changing. Sure, they still look fancy, but behind the scenes, airlines are cutting costs there too, using more pre-packaged items, centralized kitchens instead of fresh cooking on board, and limited menu choices disguised as curated dining experiences. It sounds premium, but it's actually cheaper. And while passengers enjoy plated meals with real cutlery, the variety and freshness have quietly declined in many cases. And insiders know that most travelers can't compare what it used to be like 10 or 15 years ago, so they accept the new normal as luxury. And then there's the post-pandemic shift, which accelerated everything. During the pandemic, airlines slashed services to reduce contact and cut costs. Meals were simplified or removed temporarily, and when travel returned, many airlines never fully brought them back because they realized passengers still booked flights without them, proving that food wasn't a deal breaker anymore. And once a company removes a cost and survives, it rarely adds it back. And this is why today, many airlines proudly advertise low fares while quietly charging extra for everything else. Bags, seats, food, drinks, boarding priority, turning the base ticket into just a seat on a plane, nothing more, and everything beyond that into optional purchases. And meals fit perfectly in this unbundled model because hunger is universal, predictable, and profitable. And some insiders even admit that food sales on board are now a key revenue stream, not just a service. And when airlines compete on ticket prices, they rely on these extras to make real money. So removing free meals isn't a loss, it's a strategy. But here's the twist most people don't realize. Not all meals are vanishing forever. They're just shifting to a different model. Airlines are pushing pre-ordered meals through apps and websites where you choose your food before the flight, which helps them plan exactly how much to load, reducing waste and often charging you for it unless you're in a premium class. And in the future, some industry experts believe most airlines will fully move to this system. No spontaneous hot meals on board, just pre-selected options delivered to your seat, almost like food delivery in the sky. And this gives airlines more control, better inventory management, and higher profits, while making passengers feel like they still have choices. And let's not forget sustainability, which airlines now use as a public reason for cutting meals, saying less food means less waste and lower carbon emissions. And while that's partially true, it's also very convenient that the environmentally friendly choice happens to save them tons of money. And when companies can frame cost-cutting as eco-friendly, it's a win-win for their image. But insiders admit sustainability is more of a bonus than the main goal. The real driver is always profit. And now you might be wondering, will airline meals ever completely disappear? And the honest answer from industry insiders is probably not entirely, but free meals will continue shrinking to only the longest international flights and premium cabins, while short and medium flights will become almost entirely buy-your-own-food experiences. And even on long flights, meals may become simpler, fewer courses, more packaged items, and more upsell options, like premium meal upgrades. And some airlines are already testing this, offering basic meals included and premium meals for an extra fee, which sounds ridiculous now, but may become normal in the next few years, just like paying for checked bags once sounded crazy. And if history tells us anything, it's that once airlines introduce fees and passengers accept them, there's no going back. And what's fascinating is how quietly all of this has happened. No big announcements, no headlines saying, "We're killing free meals." Just slow changes over time. Smaller portions, fewer services, more charges, until the experience feels totally different than what it used to be. And most travelers blame it on bad food or budget airlines without realizing it's a carefully planned industry shift. And for your channel, Golden Age Travel Tips, this is exactly the kind of hidden truth travelers love discovering, because it makes them feel like insiders, like they finally understand why flying feels different than it did years ago. And the emotional side of this
this is important too, because airline meals weren't just food, they were part of the travel experience, especially for kids, for first-time flyers, for long-haul trips where meals broke up the journey and gave you something to look forward to. And losing that makes flying feel more transactional, less magical, more like a bus ride in the sky. And that's something many passengers feel but can't quite explain. And insiders know this nostalgia exists, but again, nostalgia doesn't pay fuel bills. And while some airlines may bring back nicer meals as a premium feature to stand out, the majority will continue cutting and charging because the financial pressure is too strong, competition is fierce, and travelers keep choosing cheaper tickets, even if it means fewer perks. And until passengers collectively demand better service and are willing to pay for it up front, airline meals will keep fading away, becoming optional extras instead of included comforts. And the next time you're handed a tiny snack instead of a hot meal, you'll know it wasn't an accident or laziness. It was the result of years of planning, data analysis, cost cutting, and strategic shifts designed to maximize profits while keeping ticket prices looking low. And the truth is, airline meals aren't vanishing because airlines hate serving food. They're vanishing because the modern airline business model no longer sees free food as necessary, valuable, or